Hey guys, it's Hadassah Monique, aka the Stone Priestess, and I had promised y'all that I was gonna come back when I have been seen with my neurologist, and I've seen my neurologist a couple of days ago, who had also coincidentally, or he identified that I am on the autism spectrum through the tests that he had done with me. And I don't remember the exact tests that he had run, but he had touched me a lot, and I am not okay with the touching. And with the gloves that he had on, it just was not. It wasn't working. It wasn't working, but I braved through it anyway, and I guess that is what he had assessed, or how he assessed that I'm on the spectrum, along with the other things that happened. I mean, so much was happening, and I just honestly I don't remember what kind of test he did, but he just had me do several things. He had me do this, and then he had me like follow his fingers around, and on top of the touching, and then walking, and all that stuff. So what I found interesting is that he was able to diagnose me with not one, but two things, not just the Tourette's, but being on the autism spectrum. Also, having had spoke with me for about an hour, we sat down and we talked about my symptoms and about my experiences and everything. And he really listened to me, and he took his time, and he was very thorough. So I really do appreciate this doctor's work and his time spent with me. So just want to go through my actual doctor's notes. Okay, I know that it's weird to share doctor's notes online to a bunch of um, people. Sorry, my cat is being a bit on the playful side. So I know it's weird to show my personal information um, to a bunch of strangers, but I really don't give a shit, and I have nothing to hide. So we started out with doing the test, and we spoke. Like I said, we spoke for quite a while. So he mentions that this right here, my tick started in my 20s. Actually, it started when I was 20. Um, and then I had been diagnosed with ADHD, OCD, generalized anxiety disorder, and he mentions that I am most likely on the spectrum. I didn't get diagnosed with being on the spectrum when I was little, but I had all of the criteria that would have been sufficient for me to be diagnosed with autism. I am a early 90s baby, and back then women and girls were not being treated or diagnosed with being on the autism spectrum. So even though I had all of the criteria that would put me in the autism spectrum um, list or whatever, I was not diagnosed with that. Also suffering from PTSD, severe depression, and bipolar type 2. This is based on all of my medical history, I'm sure that he has seen for the past 10 or 12 years. I was in and out of hospitals because I wasn't treating my bipolar, anxiety, and depression the way that I should have. So that's what happens. You end up in the hospital. So when it comes to the ticks, in terms of ticks, she does have vocal ticks, primarily squeaky sounds. That's what I explained in my prior video, where I have explained the three types of Tourette's: the squeak, the shoulder shrug, and squeak squeak, and then there is just the shoulder shrug. But it's not really a shoulder shrug; it's more like this. So I do that, and of course I was triggered to do these things during the test that he has did that he's done. I'm sorry, my speech disorder is starting to creep in because I'm so tired. Um, so just bear with me. So like he identified those, but then he also wrote, it's not here yet. She can feel when the ticks happen. Yes, that's what I had explained. Um, Suppressing the ticks is very difficult because if I try to suppress it, it it makes the ticks worse. So he acknowledged that. Um, so the neurological and muscular exam came out fine. That was part. That's the other half of the test that he had done with me when he had me walk around and follow his finger and stuff. It's just when he touched me, it was really, really uncomfortable. I don't like the feeling of gloves on me. So when people put gloves on and then they touch me, I don't deal with that very well. As a matter of fact, I screamed at him. So yeah, so that was actually kind of funny when he did that. So I'm trying to find the part where motor vocal tick as part of the la la la. No abnormal movements. So the diagnosis of multiple vocal tic disorder. Okay, I'm trying to find the part where he says that I do a different kind of tick, which I never noticed this type of tick before. So apparently, he wrote that I had forced close my eyes sometimes, and I don't. When I'm watching my videos, I don't notice it. So I guess it just I have to. I'm not triggered when I'm doing my videos, but when I'm out and about, I started to notice it. He noticed it though, and I didn't. He wrote it down here. Um, okay, here it is. Yeah. The motor tics are usually limited to have jerking. Sometimes brief, forced eye closure is something new to me. Um, some shoulder shrugs in cases. Hand ticks. I'm not aware of my hand ticks. So that's new to me. The brief forced eye closure, shoulder shrugs, and the hand ticks are new. I didn't notice that, but he did. I don't have any triggers apparently, so okay, so that's basically it. I just wanted to share some of the information with you. As you can see, also, I am on medications that do treat Tourette's syndrome. So if I were to, at any point, stop taking these medications, I will have a lot more tics, which have occurred when I wasn't on my medication for a few short months last year due to moving out here from Texas and not having access to a doctor. So for about 2 months, I was out. I was without my medications, and I was having these tics happen like way, way more frequently, to the point where it was very difficult for me to hold my phone or hold anything. If I were able to feel it coming, I would usually just put my phone down and just stop moving altogether and just let it happen. But most of the time, I would try to like suppress it, and it would just make things worse. So he noted that if for whatever reason I am weaned off of the Seroquel or off of any of my other medications, that he would prescribe something like clonidine or yeah, right here. If in the future she is weaned off from neuroleptics, neuroleptics, the tics are getting severe, then we will consider clonidine or guanfacine. That's what he had suggested. And I have tried both actually for sleep and for anxiety. So whatever. I don't want to be on any other medications other than what I'm currently taking, which is fine for me. The Wellbutrin, Trileptal, Klonopin, and Seroquel are doing just fine for me for everything, all of my issues. Facial sensations is normal. To light touch, face is symmetric. Shoulder shrug is normal. That's what he had. Okay, he said sensory is hypersensitive to light touch in all extremities. Yeah, that's right. This is what happened when he had his gloves on. It's just people with gloves on. I don't like people touching me with gloves, which is probably why I don't like, well, I don't like anybody touching me. That's probably why I don't do chiropractics or I don't let people do my hair and stuff like that. It's just, it makes sense to me. So, but I'm not too bad about that. It's just the gloves, the feeling of the gloves is what really, just thinking about it makes my skin crawl. Like, yeah. Okay, I know that I'm jumping around like to a lot of places. I know I'm just like scatterbrained right now because I'm really tired, but I wanted to do this video really quick. So that's it. I just wanted to show my results from the doctor that has diagnosed me officially with Tourette's and was able to tell that I am also on the autism spectrum. So that was fun. Not. All right, bye.